Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know if you can hear me. Hi, Sheila. Guys, it's my birthday tomorrow, so we're having a little party right now. Hello. Hi, Jack Deep. Nice to see you. So welcome, welcome. Awesome. Hi, Radu. Great. Okay, you guys can hear me. Yes, Sheila. Yes, we are vibing. Thank you, Radu. Hi, Pulsar. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Easter. Hi, Tina. I'll just give this a couple minutes and then we'll get into it. It's so good to see you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I'm so stoked to be here with you today. It is Easter. It is a very awesome time. Hi, Peter. In the Northern Hemisphere, it's springtime. Where I am by the mountains, the weather is just beautiful, beautiful today. It's so awesome. Yes. I hope one day we can all get together and be dancing live. It's one of my favorite things to do, actually, to like jam to some music. Oh, I want you guys to send some healing vibes to Jenny because she just sent me a video and she just rescued a little bird and it didn't look too good at the moment, but she's doing her best to help him out. So we're sending her some love and healing vibes. All right, everyone. So I'm going to be channeling today as well, as you guys are aware. And if you have any questions, feel free to share them in the comments and Sheila will sort through them. I also want to give thanks to Sheila for being our moderator. And before I go into it, I wanted to share a little bit of a backstory. When I was in Belarus, even though it was a bit of a stressful time, it was an incredible time because I'd been receiving so much information and oh, it's midnight in Austria. Oh, cool. Oh, that's so cool. You're in Austria. I like Austria. I spent a lot of time in Vienna, actually, a few years back. And so I was receiving a lot of information, transmissions about Ascension, because I've had a lot of questions about it, because I get a lot of questions about it as well. And there is a ton of information out there. And so what's been really cool is that a lot of, hi, Joe. Oh, Jenny, thank you so much for the super chat. You're super awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. So today is going to be focused on, because I've been asking a lot on rebirth. And, you know, for some people who celebrate Easter, some people don't celebrate Easter, it doesn't matter. But rebirth is a part of our spiritual evolution, whatever you believe in or not. And I know probably if you're here watching this is because you felt some version of your own rebirth, or you are going through it right now. And from what has been shared with me through the channelings is that rebirth is sort of the something we go through in our second portal of ascension. And the first portal is basically surrender, is surrendering so much of what we are going through, surrendering all our old beliefs. And so today is going to be focused on that. So if you have any questions, no matter what they are related to, they don't have to be related to your own spiritual rebirth. Bring them forth. I'm really curious to see what comes through, and I'm really excited to share this with you. And afterwards, we'll have a little short powwow, and yeah, I'm going to go into it, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to share them. Aries. Yes, Aries. The Aries energy. Oof, it's strong. It's strong. If you guys are in Aries, or if you know any Aries, you know the Aries energy is strong. And that's what's coming through now, as the planet in the northern hemisphere is getting ready to blossom again. All right. It is with great delight that we come amongst you. And we are very much in tuned and filled up with gratitude for your presence, as we wish you are in tuned and in gratitude for your own presence. And we come today with a simple invitation, to an invitation that offers to each one of you a simple opening, an opening of your own hearts. To open your hearts means to first be aware of what it is to have a heart. Oftentimes, humans will come to us with questions, and oftentimes they sort of listen to the answer and then sort of look at the answer more from a mind perspective, meaning, does this make sense to me in an intellectual way, or am I really getting it? Without realizing that it is not so much understanding something from an intellectual perspective, it's about very much feeling your attunement with it. And if you do not feel an attunement with it, that's all right. Because not every answer is meant for every single being, all right? Every single one of you, while you are very much connected, you are also very much on your own path. And this can be troublesome to some humans because they can feel a sense of loneliness in this path. And so what we want to offer you today is a simple opening. This opening will feel differently for all of you, all right? And that's all right. And allow yourselves to plug into what this feels like for you. For all of you, in order to feel a sense of peace and love without needing the world around you to change in any way, very much requires surrender. And we speak about surrender very much with Charlie because she often notices that all the times when she feels great pain, it's because she's holding on so strongly to a certain response to the world around her, a certain thought, a certain way of being in the world around her that is not allowing her to sort of experience the sense of flow that she's wishing for. And so when we've shared with her about Ascension, as we share here with you today, we always say that surrender happens for most humans when they truly sort of touch on pain. And Charlie said, if it is about pain, then isn't this spiritual evolution so much about finding joy? And we tell her that pain is very much part of your physical experience. And it is through pain that many humans experience even being birthed in this physical reality. Now, for those of you who have not given birth, maybe you do not have a memory of being birthed into this physical reality. For those of you who have given birth, you might have a very much vivid memory of giving birth and the sort of joy and pain that comes with it. So it is in the same way that many humans experience their own evolution, their own sort of birthing into a new part, a new way of being. Now, what gets in the way of so many humans is this concept of and this idea that for something to be birthed, something must die. And if something must die, then it must be a bad thing. And if it is going to die, then what is this thing that's going to die within them? And today we want you to focus very much on surrender. And surrender is it's a softer, more gentle way of many humans approaching this concept of death. Because surrender says, I'll put something aside, I'll let it be, and I can always come back to it, all right? So today, as you are creating this opening, as you are opening a part of you, we'd like you to reflect on what it is that you'd like to surrender. Now, sometimes humans will come with all kinds of baggages of things they'd like to surrender. And it could be one thing, it could be many things. It could be a memory, it could be a habit, it could be a way of thinking and being that you'd like to say, you know what, I surrender this, because in surrendering this, I'm allowing myself to open up just a little bit to something else, to something that feels more right, that feels more genuine, that I might not know exactly what it is, but I welcome it into my being. And in welcoming it into my being, I am able to experience more. And what is this more? Well, this more, you can very much define it, what it is for you. It could be more compassion, it could be more love, it could be more kindness, it could be more gentleness. Because what we witness with so many humans, though they are wishing for so much kindness and gentleness in the world around them, they are quite unkind and ungentle to themselves. So, in this surrendering, notice what it is that you like to experience more of, and what it is that you would want to surrender in order to experience this. And as you go through this, you'll notice that a lot of what you're wanting to surrender is coming from a place of pain. And there's nothing wrong with pain. If you are feeling a certain pain in your body, you do not go on and say, I'm going to sort of not pay attention to the pain. You sort of pay attention. You say, well, what is this pain telling me? Did I sprain my muscle? Did I eat maybe something that was not quite attuned with my body? The pain is simply a signal. The pain can be a fear. The pain can be as a feeling of anger or guilt. And it's all right not to deny it, but to allow it to speak to you. And as you listen to it, it will tell you what it is that is wanting to communicate. And this might take a bit for some of you, and it will be quicker as you practice more and more of it. So as you begin to listen to your own pain and to understand and to sift through it, you'll start to gain more clarity about what it is that you want to surrender. And the more and more that you surrender, the more and more of a sense of flow you begin to experience. And in this experience of flow, you begin to find answers, you begin to find ideas, you begin to find little intuitions. And as you begin to sort of follow these intuitions, they don't have to be very big, they can be very small, and oftentimes they can seem quite silly. But as you begin to follow those more and more, you'll start to notice a new part of you emerging. Now, what it is fun about the time that you are living is that it is, in human terms, called the age of Aquarius. And there is a the water element will be of great importance to you in this age. Now, humans might not enjoy this so much because they will experience a rise in the waters of this planet. And what they will also experience is a new rebirth. And as you are born from the water in your physical life, it is in the same way that water is an aspect of your own spiritual rebirth. Now, here's the tricky part with water. It is quite fun when you're sort of at the edge of it, when you are, let's say, by a lake and by the sea. If you know how to swim, it's even more fun. But if you don't know how to swim, it can be quite frightening. And as you are in sort of the beginning stages of your own awakening, of your own ascension, there is a sense of excitement. There is a sense of something new. There's a sense of, I'm learning something new. I'm about to enter this wonderful journey. And okay, I'm willing to surrender things that do not feel good to me. I'm willing to listen to this pain. But as you go a little bit deeper and further into the water, maybe you sense that it is a bit cool. And as you notice, sometimes when you go in the water after you've been in the sun, there's a sense of, oh, it's a bit chilly. And as you go a little bit deeper, depending where you are, it can feel good, but then there's a sense of excitement. But if you don't know how to swim, you could say, you know what, maybe I don't want to go so far into this water because just in case something happens. And for most humans, in the beginning of a spiritual journey, they do not know sort of how to swim. There's so much to navigate through within themselves and all around them. And so there is a sense of fear that arises of, well, I'm going so far, so what do I do next? Because all these things are rising up in my own world, all these memories, all these new feelings that I'd sort of suppressed because I didn't want to deal with them. So what do I do with all these? And we say, surrender, surrender, surrender to them. Because when you surrender, it is like peeling off layers upon layers upon layers, and a new you emerges. And unlike your physical world, when you go into the water, you don't know how to swim, you maybe might get sort of swallowed up by the water. In a spiritual sense, all of you are supported. All of you are supported. And so as you begin to surrender and you go into this water and you're sort of swallowed up into it, you begin to realize that even though there's so much unknown, even though there's so much that you are sifting and sorting through, you begin to notice that when you are in this underwater space, you are starting to notice that as you allow yourself to flow more with it, you can figure out how to swim a little bit better. You figure out how long you can be underwater, how long you can be underwater and breathe. And in this underwater experience, even in your moments of struggle, you begin to allow a new you to emerge. And as you surrender more and more, you will finally experience what it is to be birthed anew. Now, sometimes, just like when a baby is born into this physical world, a human baby, they will cry. They'll sort of say, where am I? Where is the comfort of the water? And in the same way, as many of you go through this part of your ascension, you'll sort of come to the other end of it, and there will be a sense of loneliness, a sense of new discovery, a sense of saying, well, what do I do now? And as you look around you, as you ground yourself in breath and in grace, you'll start to really sense that this new you is filled with a deeper sense of appreciation, with a deeper sense of compassion. And in that, you find the strength to continue on. So, as your own planet enters this next phase of rebirthing into new cultures and new societies and new ways of being, there's going to be a struggle because there's going to be a need to want to hold on. There's going to be a need to want to sort of preserve something that is not there anymore. Now, a lot of humans, many humans, we notice will sort of interpret this in a very physical sense, but what we are speaking about is very much a consciousness sense. And then this consciousness that is shifting will begin to manifest physically. But right now, in this place, in this space of water, you will experience this in your own life, sometimes as turmoil, sometimes as pure chaos, but as you surrender more and more and more, not needing the world around you to be any way than the way that it is, you'll begin to experience your own personal evolution, your own personal rebirth. It is very unique to each and every one of you. And remember, you are always supported in this journey. All right, so you have come with questions, and we are very much looking forward to have a conversation with you. So we will begin. All right, so the question that we are receiving is, when we've crossed over, can we still, we don't have to eat, etc., but can we still have a love mate in heaven? All right, very good. We like this question. This is a very fun question, because there is a lot of fun that you have when you cross over. And so many humans often will say, I can't wait to cross over because I want to experience that pure freedom and fun and all the things that I can't seem to experience here. And when you are in physical form, the reason and the sort of purpose that you come into this physical form is so you can experience all the multiple and multitude of tastes, of sensations, of feelings, of experiences, of contrast, of differences. Oftentimes, all of the things that many humans want to sort of eliminate from their experience in the physical life is precisely why their soul chose to come into this physical life. And so when you are a non-physical, what it is that you experience is what it is that we experience being a non-physical, which is pure love and pure peace. And in order to experience this, there's not a need to experience this as you do in this physical reality related to anything but pure beingness. And what do we mean by this? For example, when you are in this physical reality, you'll see a beautiful flower and you'll say, wow, this is beautiful. It is making me feel a certain way. You smell something good and you say, this smells good. It is making me feel a certain way. You taste something and you say, it is making me feel a certain way. You meet someone, you say, I like them, that they're making me feel a certain way, until they don't make you feel that way. All right. And then you say, I don't love them anymore. Or I love them, but I don't like them so much. When you are a non-physical, there's no need for any particular thing to make you feel a certain way. You simply are in a space of love. You simply are in a space of pure freedom. You simply are in a space of pure joy. And when we come forth, and you do not have to wait for non-physical to begin to experience what you are wanting to experience. You can simply begin to experience it as you are now. And oftentimes, some of you will say, I felt this sense of bliss before, and I felt it by meditating, and I felt it by being in nature. I felt it by laughing when I'm around those that I love. But then that sort of moment feels so fleeting. How can I get it back? And the truth is it's not about getting it back or experiencing it any longer that you are experiencing it. It's about experiencing it, appreciating it for what it is. And as you, in that moment of appreciation, you are saying, I like this, I want more of it. And what we want to say to you, embrace that desire of wanting to experience more love, more fun. And the more and more that you embrace that desire, the more and more that you are inviting it into your life, and the more and more that you are inviting it into your life, the more and more opportunities you have to experience that sense of love. And by the time that you come into non-physical, your transition will be one of deep gratitude. Because sometimes when humans sort of have a lot of fear in their physical life and a lot of pain, and they are not able to sort of find peace in their physical life, when they cross over and they say, I wish I'd had more fun. I wish I'd trusted more in my physical experience. I wish I'd worried less, because I see now that what I'm experiencing in non-physical, this deep sense of peace, I see that it was possible, very much possible, to experience it in the physical. And so when you cross over or croak or die or sort of fly into your non-physical experience, you can choose anything that you like to feel and how you'd like to feel it, because when you are non-physical, you are in pure freedom. And that is exactly what it is possible for you now in this physical life. All right? All right. So, do you know of an efficient way for us to release ourselves from a strong reactive state where negative thoughts are in a constant loop? Well, we know of an efficient way. We've told you of an efficient way, but you humans always keep asking the same questions. So maybe we will tell you, maybe we will not. We are, of course, teasing you. The truth is that this efficient way in which you are asking is very much coming from a physical perspective. A physical perspective is very much based on practicality and efficiency, all right? And we understand this, and we appreciate the sort of human way of wanting to achieve things in a way that is easier and less energy consuming. And the truth is that the most efficient way for you to release yourself from a strong negative state is very simple. It is through breath. We know, you say, well, how can it be through breath? I'm breathing all the time, and yet I'm feeling so reactive. The truth is that you are in a survival state. Most of the time, you are not breathing in the way which you are meant to be breathing, all right? And the reason why we say breath is because sometimes humans, they think that they are all mind. They forget about the part that their body plays in their physical experience. And you are very much not just your mind. And so this efficient way of wanting to do things is very much mind-based, all right? And the mind is just one aspect of you, all right? And your breath is much more tied to your heart. And the moment in which you open your heart, as we were sharing with you a message about creating an opening in your heart and in your being, that is when you are able to download information so much more quickly that will bypass anything that your mind can sort of cook up on its own. So, a very simple way is to begin breathing deeply. All right. And what we mean by breathing deeply is to begin breathing with your whole being. Now, humans will say, oh, I can do that. And they try and they say, I can't really do it. I don't really know what it is. See, when spirit enters into the physical body, it is very much through breath. And the way in which you are able to sort of absorb wisdom into your whole being is very much through breath. So, the best and quickest and fastest way is to begin breathing deeply. All right. Because what it does, it begins to sort of relax you enough for wisdom to come forth. Now, there are different processes that we have shared with you, but all processes that we share with you are very much a daily practice. All right. It is not something that you can do once and that you will master. But what we notice is when we share practices with humans, they sort of wrap themselves up in a ball because they will forget that the practice is not just a mental practice, it's very much a whole being practice. It is a whole body practice, it is a whole spirit practice and a mind practice. So what we mean is that in order for you to sort of uplift yourself from a negative state, it is very much a practice of every day awakening with a state of gratitude by sort of allowing your mind to sort of bring what it is that it brings and saying, thank you. I appreciate you wanting to remind me of all the things that I've got to do and all the conversations that I've got to have and all the things that went wrong. But right now, I'd like to be in a state of grace and gratitude. And I'd like to spend a few moments sort of being gracious of what is around me, as simple and as sparse as what is around me could be. And in that, breathing in this sense of grace. And as you begin to do this, you begin to move through your day with in a different state, all right? And your whole being is different. And when you sort of catch yourself wanting to think of something that does not feel pleasant, you realize that, aha, I don't have to. I have the power to choose something different. All right. And it is not about denying your negative feelings because a lot of humans will say, I want to get from 0 to 100. And we say, are you a Lamborghini? Are you a machine? No, you are a full organic being, meaning you've got to honor the state in which you are in and sort of soothe yourself to the next place and the next place and the next place. Meaning, if you are finding yourself in a lot of rage and anger, the rage and anger is sort of letting you know that you've been suppressing some parts of you, and you can ask, well, what is it that I've been suppressing, and how can I sort of release this anger, this rage? And breath is one way, and as you get connected to your breath, you'll receive some other intuitions about how you can release this anger. And then from anger, you'll sort of go to blame, and then from blame you realize you blame everybody you have to blame, and it's not really helping you much. So from blame, you'll sort of feel a sense of overwhelmment. And as you realize, all right, well, I'm feeling overwhelmed. How about I just sort of surrender? And instead of trying to force everything and control everything, maybe I'll just take a walk. Maybe I'll just sort of go in water and swim for a little bit or frolic around without an agenda. All right. And you'll find a lot of relief there. And all of a sudden, from overwhelmment, you'll feel a sense of hope. And then that sense of hope will catalyze itself into a sense of well-being. You understand? It is very much a process that starts with your breath and with gratitude. So, very good. All right. So, I miss my friend in another state. We have limits on travel. How soon before I can visit her energetically and actually be with her? All right. You can be with her right now if you wish. All right. Because humans are quite masters at visiting each other, at sending each other messages. If you are a mother or you are all children of mothers, so you have very much experienced, maybe not all of you, but most of you, maybe you are aware sometimes when you are feeling something and then your mother will call you and she'll say, I was worried about you. And you'll say, and Charlie has noticed this in her life, Just say, God damn it, mother, why are you always no? I wish you just wouldn't know because I really don't want to tell you about it. And and it is very much in the same way that all of you have connections with others. However, you sort of put limits on the how deeply you connect with others, all right? Oftentimes you want others to be a certain way and the connection to be a certain way for you to feel a a deep sort of telepathic energetic uh, um, connection with them, all right? Now, the mother and a child have this connection because it is very much for the mother. She has experienced what it is like for a spirit to enter her physical body as a spirit enters the physical body of the child, all right? And so in many ways it is something that the mother doesn't have to even work on, all right? But this kind of connection, this sort of umbilical energetic cord, you can have with any being that you want. Now, some humans have practiced this where they want to make energetic connections with others, so they will sit deep in meditation and want to connect with them. But here's the thing: sometimes humans will go into these connections with an agenda. They'll say, I really want to connect with this being, and as we say, you can connect with them right away. But they'll say, well, what if they don't want me there? Or I've got to do it in this way or that way. And we say it's very simple. It is simply with an intention as you do. And as you relax into this connection, do not expect it to be in the same way that so many of you have learned to be in the physical sense, meaning you'll not always get a message. Your friend or whoever it is, or someone who might have crossed over into the other side, they're not always going to speak to you in the words that you know. Sometimes there'll be a certain sensation that you will receive that will let you know that you are making connection. But there's nothing special you need to do, but simply set an intention and be yourself in a state of pure beingness and pure love and gratitude. And in that, you begin to shift your vibration, open yourself up. As you open yourself up, your own channels of communication, you'll begin to allow into your being this connection that you are seeking. All right. So if you are wanting to connect with someone, it's very simple. Just dial up. And how you dial up is oftentimes by meditation, being somewhere in nature or in water, or just basking in the sun. You could even do it while washing the dishes. Sometimes when humans surrender to sort of resistance that they have to doing the dishes, they'll notice that in that state, they sort of allow themselves to go very much into a trance. And in this trance, they open their own channels of communication and they are able to receive new ideas and new connections. It is very much in the same way that you can connect with any being that you'd really like to. Now, of course, your intention is key, because just because you'd like to connect with someone, maybe you won't have an intention of love. They might not sort of let you connect with them, all right? So set an intention that is filled with love and compassion and graciousness, and then allow yourself to be in a state of receiving. All right, very good. All right. In the process of sensing and seeing more, there's a dark guarding that manifests all the fears we can imagine. How do we see beyond this garden and multitude of illusions it conjures? All right. All right, very good. So here is, before we answer this question, and as we speak about this, we will answer this question, that many humans, when they come into physical reality, they are sort of, in many ways, they feel bound to how this physical reality works. All right. Meaning they will not always be aware of what they think and how what they think manifests in the world around them, but they'll sort of get a sense. Sometimes humans will come to us and they'll say, and this happened recently in a conversation we had with someone, they said, I used to always complain why people were just so mean to me. And then I began to notice that whenever I was sort of around people, I wasn't thinking very nicely about them. I wasn't thinking very nicely about me. I was always sort of upset a little bit. And I see now that the way in which I was upset was not only dictating the way in which I was behaving, but it was creating this sort of uh, um, this effect around me where the energy that I was channeling forth was not a pleasant one. And so people weren't pleasant around me. And in that, they said, was I found great. I see now the power that I have in being able to sort of transform how I feel. All right. And not just how I feel, but in how I feel can transform the world around me. And when we speak about feeling, we're also speaking about thought. All right. They are always in a dance with each other. Okay. So it is in the same way, in whatever state you are in, that you are carrying around, that it's having an effect. Now, the truth is, though, sometimes you might be thinking about very horrible things, but not everything that you are thinking about will manifest in the world around you. And that, in many ways, is the grace of Source, because you are always supported, and because Source and God, whatever it is that you'd like to call it, is always sort of nudging you to move towards a place of light. In many ways, you are helped because not everything that you are thinking about, not everything dark that you are thinking about, is manifested as something that is unpleasant. And when you begin to think that there is an energy out there that might be controlling, or might be sort of taking what it is that you are thinking, all the unpleasant thoughts, and sort of saying, well, right here it is, then you begin to sort of create a more fear within yourselves. All right. So, first things first, we'd like to free you from this idea that there are any energies out there that want to sort of control you beyond what the control that you give over to them. Meaning, any dark force that you think of, that you sense, it's not in a way, as you think about it, helping you manifest dark ideas. Oftentimes, dark forces, they sort of take from you. And we know you will actually enjoy this if you truly understand what we are speaking about. The dark forces, or the dark guardians, or the dark angels that you are thinking about, or that you might have sort of experience on, what they do is they take from you what's already not needed. All right. Meaning, imagine you have a car, and or the first car that you've ever had. All right. And if you've had several cars over the years, maybe you can think back to the first car that you had. And we shared this example with Charlie, and she thought about it because the first car that she had would overheat quite often. And at some point, the car died. All right. It simply would not budge. And at the time, it didn't feel good to her because she said, this was the only car that I had. I wish that it worked. And she sort of felt this dark energy around her and thought, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I've been thinking not good thoughts and I sort of killed my car. Or it was this other thing that just sort of took it away from me. And the way that the way that we shared it with her was that it was time for her to get a new car. And whatever dark energies or dark guardians, they come forth and they take away what it is that is not needed anymore. Relationships that are not needed anymore. Sometimes people will end relationships, or relationships will end, and they'll say, oh, it was something not good. Not that the relationship ended, but the fact that I don't have this relationship anymore. And we say, that's not what it's about. That's that it is necessary for you to remove often things from your life that are not serving you anymore. And the dark guardians and the dark energies often are the ones that can actually handle the energetic discharge from these thoughts and these experiences. And so oftentimes humans will say, well, I'm thinking something dark, it must manifest as something dark. The truth is that sometimes when you're thinking something dark, you are discharging a dark energy. And if you are able to realize that in this discharge, you are surrendering it, and that there are forces out there that can sort of carry this energy force with you. But sometimes what humans will do, oftentimes they will double down. They'll think something that doesn't feel good, and instead of allowing it to be what it is and to breathe it out and to let it go, they'll think more and more and more and more and more and more of it. And they'll say, okay, there is something out there that is wanting to manifest something dark for me. And what we want to say to you is that anything dark out there is also serving you, not in helping you manifest anything dark, but in allowing you to discharge this energy. What is important for you to do next is to let it go, all right? To release it. Instead of holding on to something that does not feel pleasant, you can say, I release it. I recognize that it was there and I release it. I recognize that it's there and I release it, all right? But in holding on to a belief that something else might be sort of controlling and manifesting what it is that you are thinking and wanting to manifest dark ideas, it will not help you in releasing these energies. Instead, begin to look at it as there are forces out there that are helping me sort of carry this dark discharge of energy. And if I surrender to letting go, then these energies will help me catalyze these thoughts, these ideas, this discharge into something transformative. All right. So that is how you begin to let go of illusions. Illusions are very much things that you keep thinking over and over and over. If something doesn't feel right, if something is not allowing you to expand, you can let it go. And that's how you let go of illusions. All right. You are very much in charge. And this can be very difficult for humans to accept. All right. And when we are saying, they'll say, I'm not in charge because I have to show up to a job and there's a boss. And what we are speaking of is an internal part of you, what you are thinking and feeling. You are very much in charge of that. All right. And as you begin to notice that, all right, there is illusions within me, there's illusions all around me. And some of those illusions are necessary. All right. Sometimes we will say, physical things are illusions, but the truth is they are not illusions. You very much need a vehicle to go from A to B. All right. And oftentimes you need a negative thought that might feel like an illusion to go to a place of light. And that's all right. It is not about eliminating all that is. All right. Humans say, ascension on planet Earth is about us completely eliminating darkness. But darkness is just contrast. There's no way you can come to a place of light if there's no darkness. All right. And so every single day, and we shared with you very much a simple process of breathing deeply, of being in a state of gratitude. As you are in a state of gratitude and breathing deeply and connecting with yourself, you'll very much release so many fears within yourself. You'll very much release so many illusions within yourself. All right. And any energy that is there will carry those illusions for you. All right. Will carry that energy off for you. That is what you might call a dark angel. We sometimes speak of the angel of death. That is the angel that takes back the old cars and the old relationships and all the things that are not needed. Imagine you were still with the very first person you ever dated. Now, some of you are, but some people say, I'm so glad that person is not in my life anymore. But in the beginning, that breakup, that separation was painful. But it is the service of these guardians, of these angels that sort of carry on this dark energy and catalyze it very much into something different, into something new, into something more beautiful for your experience. And what your job sort of in this process is to trust that, to stop punishing yourself for the fears that you are having, for the illusions that you are noticing, to stop punishing the world around you, to stop seeing the world around you as this terrible place. All right. We see this with humans. They say, I want ascension, but oh goodness, look at this horrible world around me. And we say, it's fine if you want to recognize that the world is not imperfect, but you'll not reach any place of ascension if you continue to notice how imperfect it is. Because in continuing to notice its imperfections, its so-called illusions and fears, you will continue to hold yourself in those vibrations of fear and illusions. So the best way is to pick times throughout your day to recognize and be in a state of appreciation. All right. And so when those negative forces come forth, you are able to release them. And there's very much energies that are there to sort of say, you don't want it anymore, we will take it. All right. Just like when you often donate clothes and things that you do not want. Charlie loves this. A few years ago, she noticed that she was very much enjoying this thing of not just letting go things that she didn't want anymore that were very good. She said, I don't want to throw them away. And she noticed, oh wow, I can give them to someone else that could use them. And it is very much in the same way when you have negative thoughts and you release them, you say, thank you very much for being there, but I don't think I need you right now. And as you release it, there are forces that will come around and say, we'll carry it. And it's pure energy. Thought is simply energy. And they'll say, we will catalyze this energy. It doesn't have to catalyze into something dark. It can catalyze into more wisdom, into more knowledge, into more freedom, you see? All right, very good. Why do I keep having synchronizations with particular people? All right, very good, because you are attuned with them. All right. Oftentimes, humans will begin to think in the same way and feel in the same way, and they will notice that, aha, I feel that I am sort of attuned. You very much know this sometimes as groupthink, all right? That very much can be a synchronicity, right? It's as you said, a synchronization, all right? What is a synchronization? It is something that is sort of attuned to the same time, all right? And so this doesn't mean it's good or bad. It is what it is. So oftentimes you might be thinking about certain people, and you might be thinking about them the same way that they are thinking about you. And as you begin to think in the same way, you start to sort of set your vibration in a certain direction. And as that vibration is set in a certain direction, it meets their vibration, which is also set in a certain direction. All right, this is the simplest way of saying it. And oftentimes this can be very fun, especially when you begin to tune up your vibration to more well-being. All right. But this can work in the same way if you begin to tune up your vibration to a sense of frustration or fear. You'll have very much synchronizations with other people in that vibration. And there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes humans will synchronize in a place of fear. And because of that, their energies will meet and they will sort of help each other to catalyze to a place of a better vibration. So enjoy it. All right. What can we do to open the heart? What has the fast effect? All right, very much the fast effect. This is so fun because humans, they are so tied up to this fast effect because they have this concept of time. They say, my life is not very short. Sometimes when they are bored, they'll say, my life is very long. But you always want a sense of speed, all right? And we always say that the best way to be fast is to surrender, all right? Imagine you are in a stream and you are wanting to move fast, but the stream is moving faster than you, but you're saying, I don't want to go the direction of the stream. I want to move faster in this direction. So if it is that you are wanting to open your heart, then claim that and say, I want to open my heart now. Allow me to open my heart. All right. Begin to have a new conversation with yourself because humans will say, I want to open my heart, but my heart is closed. I don't know how to open my heart. Oh, it means my heart must be closed. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm not getting this. Maybe it's something I'm thinking. Oh, how do I open this heart? And then they start to sort of, instead of allowing themselves to be in a state of open heart, they'll begin to think themselves to a complete ball of frustration. So we shared with you already a simple process of waking up in a state of gratitude, breathing deeply, and taking the time throughout the day to be in a state of plugging into your body and the world around you. Now, here's the fun part with this, is that it's so easy. It is so simple. It is so, so simple to open your heart. All right. Stop thinking of all the BS that you keep thinking about. All right. That's the fastest way to open your heart. But you say, how can I stop thinking? Because I'm a thinking being. Someone at some point told you, I think, therefore I am. But the truth is, you are because you are. All right. You are because you are. There's nobody who stopped existing because they stopped thinking. But there are people who stopped thinking and their existence flourished. Now, meditation is a nice way of slowing down your thoughts enough where it begins to feel that they are sort of ceasing. But sometimes for some humans, this doesn't work because they are sort of at odds with their bodies. And so it is very difficult for them to stay still and be still in a sense of peace enough with their bodies where their thoughts can slow down. Oftentimes they'll sit, and because they're sort of at odds with their own physical bodies, that they'll scratch and they'll tug and they'll sort of say, the more that I sit, the more frantically do I think. And in those moments, it is all right to move. It is all right to move through nature. It is all right to breathe. It is all right to tell your mind to take a hike, to say, I appreciate you and everything that you are offering me right now and all the thoughts, but I think right now I'm just sort of going to enjoy myself. I'm going to enjoy breathing and feeling and being in my body. A few months ago, we were having a conversation with someone who said, and we've had this conversation with a few other humans. Well, they said, I've been to the water, to the ocean many times. I've swum at the ocean many times. But today, for the first time, I got into the ocean and I just frolicked around and I laughed hysterically. And I gave two hoots about people around seeing me just laugh at nobody but myself. And they said that was the best thing I've experienced since I was a child. That is a moment of heart opening, all right? Heart opening is not surgery, all right? You are not opening the heart with a scalpel. It is not something where you've got to sit there with a bright light and just sort of say, how do I open my heart? Let me sort of follow this formula. It's very much about moments of allowing joy in and not giving a damn about anything or anyone. It is surprising how few humans experience this when they stop being children. All right? Many humans are always so busy excusing themselves and having all kinds of conversations with fictional beings or fictional versions of beings they already know. Go somewhere and just have a good time with yourself. Laugh hysterically, laugh out loud. Sometimes what humans call craziness or someone losing their mind, and what it is that they finally said, you know what? I'm tired of this mind. I'm losing my mind. And sometimes you'll find them having conversations with themselves or laughing hysterically. Now, you don't have to lose your mind in order to feel this sense of open heart, but you can certainly allow yourself to feel the sense of play and joy. Sometimes humans wait a long time for this, and they'll get to a place where they said, I worried so much about what others thought of me, of this and that now I just want to make art. Now I just want to dance. Now I just want to play like a child. All right? You can do that. You can play like a child. You can discover what it is that brings you that sense of play and joy. You can redirect your mind to allow it to share with you its powers of imagination. All right. And that's when your heart opens. All right. It's very fun. Children have very much open hearts, which is why often adults will say, be careful. Don't accept candy from strangers, because they know that a child has pure open heart. They're open to receiving all the time. So experience those moments that make you feel like you're a child again. All right. That's how you'll experience more and more of an open heart. And that's the fastest, most effective way. All right. All right. We will take one more question and let us see what this next question is. How may we help others see through the illusions of the dark forces that control our planet and come to the realization of the wholeness of who we are? By being this being that you want others to be. By being this this knowledge that you want others to have. It's simply that. Because, see, the more and more that you practice noticing the truth, and the more and more that you are in that truth, in those moments, you begin to nurture within yourself a certain state of being, right? We often speak of this state of being. And the most beautiful state of being that most humans experience is a state of flow, right? And in this state of flow, that's when you begin to sort of synchronize yourself to other beings and circumstances and energies that are also vibrating in this place of openness and this place of wisdom. And in that, you'll get intuitions where you say, go here, speak to this person, listen to this, all right? So the best way for you to help others is by being yourself in that place. And we shared with you that sometimes humans will say, I'm noticing that others are not in this place. And Charlie will do this all the time. She says, I'm noticing these people are not getting it, or they're not in this place. And how can I show them? We say, you cannot show them, you can be it. And in that beingness, you'll receive more and more intuitions of how you can be more of that. And in that, you will receive more and more intuitions. And from that, you will be able to maybe even for a little bit embody some of that wisdom and be guided to share that wisdom. And those who are ready will receive it. You see, not everyone is ready to see the things that you are seeing. That's all right. That's completely all right. All of you who are here are because you are finding a sense of attunement with these messages, all right? Not so much the words, but the sort of vibration that we share. And we're not wanting everyone to hear what we share, because our desire is not one to sort of make others believe a certain thing. It is simply to share vibration, and those who are ready and willing to receive it and hear it, they'll receive it and hear it. So this is part of your surrender. The way in which you allow others to surrender this is let go of this illusion that you have to make others think the way that you think, all right? So many humans go down this road, and it is a hard and painful road to go down a road of making others to believe what you believe. It is exhausting. It is quite exhausting. And sometimes it is rewarding. But it is only rewarding when you let go of wanting to change something in others. All right? When you are truly experiencing a sense of peace and light, you'll carry it. And instead of you saying, I want you to see the truth, others will say, what is it that makes your life so much fun? What is it that why are you having so much fun? You say, I could tell you, but I don't know if you're ready for it. All right. All right. And that is so much more powerful when others come to you to say, what is it that you've got going on? All right. You might have noticed this with yourself when you go someplace and somebody's like, here, I want to give you what I have. And, Charlie has noticed this when she goes to the shopping mall because she likes to shop. And sometimes people say, here, ma'am. And she's very amused when they call her ma'am. She feels that it's not very pleasant, but they'll say, ma'am, here, try this. And she'll say, no, it's all right. It's all right. And sometimes she will just accept something, but she's not very excited about it. So it is in the same way. But sometimes there'll be places where she'll see certain things and she'll say, wow, it smells good. Wow, it's beautiful. I am drawn to this. What's in here? Let me go in there. So it is in the same way that you can cultivate this freedom within yourself, that you can begin to let go of the illusions within yourself. And others will sort of notice you like a beautiful shop or like a beautiful garden. And they'll say, what is it about this person? What is it that they know? Because there's something about them. And I kind of want them to tell me what it is. All right. That is the best way. All right. And in the same way, and we will end this very shortly, that we want to assure you to live attuned to your own truth as you discover it. All right. Because truth is any belief that is thought long enough, all right? It becomes truth. And that's why there are so many truths. But as you begin to find yours where you say, I like being in this place, it feels good. It is attuned with a part of me that is playful, that it is free, that is productive, that is innovative, that is fun, all right? As you connect more and more to those parts of you, your own truth will emerge. And you'll notice that you'll not want others to be in any particular way for you to feel free. We understand this is very difficult for so many humans to accept, because they'll say, how can I leave these other people's behind? How can I see the world in such a place and not do something about it? And what we say, it's not that you're not doing something about it. The moment that you are living the truth, your own truth, and you are seeing the light, you are doing so much, because in those moments, you allow in the inspiration, the ideas, the synchronicities that will sort of guide you exactly where you need to be, so that the truth that you are embodying will have its own voice. But instead of a voice that is domineering and forceful, it is a voice that leads by example, all right? It is a voice that leads with its presence, all right? As you become more present to your own truth, as you become more present to the light, you are truly becoming a being of light, all right? And if you are becoming more of being a light, you begin to, your light, your energetic light begins to magnify, and you begin to sort of shed more light to the world around you. And those who are ready to receive the light, they'll say, wow, I'm seeing so much more. Thank you for allowing me to see. And others who are not ready, they'll say, get away from me. And that's all right. You'll say, because everyone and every being has their own journey, all right? Every single one of you has your own journey. And so relish that journey. What it is that so many of you experience is that from a young age, you were trained by those around you to say, do this and don't do that. And I have to teach you, because if I don't teach you, you won't know. And if you won't know, things will go very wrong for you. All right. So oftentimes humans will carry this as they sort of gain more wisdom and knowledge. There will be a part of them that will say, I have to tell others, because if they don't get it, something bad's going to happen to them. And I don't want anything bad to happen to them. So let me make sure I tell them. And as you begin to let go of that, as you begin to say, you know what? I trust not only in myself, but I trust in the world around me. This is what surrender is. See, if humans had more trust within themselves and the world around them, they wouldn't be needing to sort of control and manipulate others, as you are witnessing. All right. But this begins at home, meaning within yourself. All right. And as you practice this within yourself, you won't need to sort of jar yourself in wanting to believe something that you're not ready to believe, and wanting to surrender something that you're not ready to let go. And it is in the same way that you'll approach the world around you, and you'll feel so much more at peace wherever you are. All right. And that is very much what we wish for so many of you. It does not mean that you do not take action. It does not mean that you do not make a shift, or you do not bring any shift in the world around you. We are not speaking about this. What we are speaking about is allowing yourselves to arrive to a place of inspired action. All right. That is so much more powerful. An inspired action is so much more powerful than an action that says, I have to make someone see what I see, instead of, I am seeing the truth, and from this place, I am inspired to share it. That is so much more powerful. All right. It has been so much fun for us to come amongst you and to share with you this conversation. And we are very appreciative for every single one of you who comes forth with your questions, because it is in that moment where you are wanting to know that you set forth a desire for knowing, and that knowing begins to manifest within you. Remember, you've got incredible wisdom within yourselves. And the more and more that you begin to trust your inner selves, and the more and more that you begin to trust that inner voice, you'll begin to find that treasure that you are seeking. All right. Very good. Mm. All right. All right. Wow, that's good to be back. Okay, let's see. Wow, there's so many comments. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for that. Wow. Wow. Sheila says there's a lot of chatting going on today. Woo woo. Lots of people wishing you happy birthday and sending love. Thank you. Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks, everybody. So excited. I feel like this is my birthday party. So thank you for being here for this awesome birthday party. Wow, this is so cool. I'm actually going to go back and read all these comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shelly says, join our, yeah, if you guys want to join the Facebook group, we are growing and growing. And Larry says, it's my first live experience, just watching from St. Louis, 80 degrees. Woo, awesome. That's so cool. Shelly says, water has memory. I would assume it'd be intelligent. Yes, water has memory. Oh, wow. I see more questions that. All right. So I see that you guys left some questions a bunch of questions. I'm not sure what one through. But if whatever questions weren't answered, we will definitely, I will go through them and actually get to them either through some channeled videos. Oh, wow. So we had some super chats. Pulsar Fusion. Thank you so much, Pulsar. Thank you. I appreciate it. Pulsar also has a cool channel, so check it out. Thank you. Awesome. Actually, I want to see. Wow, so grateful for you guys leaving the super chats. It's really awesome. Let's see. Jenny left a super chat. Sheila, thank you so much, Sheila. T-Boy, wow, thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. Dominic, thank you for the super chat. Wow, you guys, thank you so much for the super chats. It's really, really awesome. I really appreciate your sharing, your abundance. So much love. Thank you. Thank you for all the questions. Carol is here. Hi, Carol. So good to see you. I'll make sure I want to say hi to everybody. James. Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, it is today. Andrew says, love the message. Awesome. Us models here. Thank you. Thank you for birthday wishes. It's been amazing to be here with you. Hi, John. And thank you. I'm excited to do this again next weekend. And just really want to wish you all to, wherever you are, northern or southern hemisphere, really enjoy yourselves and to find time to take care of yourselves, not just in the physical sense, but very much in that internal sense. And because we need more adults that show more love and kindness to themselves and the world around. And Sheila, thank you. Sheila says, thanks everyone for joining. Hope to see you next week. Yeah, I hope to see you everybody next week. Thank you. We'll come back, bring your questions. And you can also feel free to send your questions by email at charlieKwild@gmail.com or Ascension7, the number 7 @gmail.com. Breadstick says, you seem very sweet. Thank you for your time. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thanks so much for the birthday wishes and for being here. And it was great to see you too, Pulsar. Loved our conversation. It's so good to see you guys. Cosmic family, thank you for celebrating my birthday. And here, I think I have some like music. We'll end this on some music. Let's see. I don't know what this sounds like. We'll see. Cool. All right. Dance party. Rebirthday tomorrow. Yes. All right, everybody. So much love. Ciao. How young am I today? Forever 21. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, Katrin. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate your birthday wishes. And with this dance party, I'm going to wrap it up. I will see you next weekend. 21, obviously. Thanks, Sam Wolf. Thank you. Ciao.